What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and now I'm going to try to shoot the content that I intended to shoot earlier before I had that little Tren-induced fucking meltdown. Hopefully that shit won't occur again. If you haven't seen that video, then you definitely need to check out the video that I posted before this titled Tren Marriage Rant, because that will give you a definitive inside look at exactly how powerful this compound is. So what I'm going to do in this video is just cut the bullshit and get to the actual effects that I'm feeling now that I've added Trenbolone back into this cycle. So we have been at 500 milligrams of Test E for a little over 4 weeks now. I've been running 50 milligrams of Anadrol per day, split into a 25 milligram AM dose and a 25 milligram PM dose. Up until a week ago, I was also running 200 milligrams of Primo. I decided to drop the Primo and add back in Trenbolone E at 100 milligrams, which is double the dose I intended to start with. I decided that the Primo I wasn't really enjoying it. Some of this, if you watch my previous videos, some of this will be repeat content, but I just wasn't feeling like the Primo was doing anything, special for me. It wasn't producing a better aesthetic than the Tren. It certainly wasn't producing any strength. There's no really reason to believe it was going to produce any substantial muscle gains. And since I have been having some resting pulse rate issues, I decided that I would just rather go back to Old Faithful and put back in the Tren. So I started the Tren about a week and a half ago. I just did my third dose, so I'm doing 50 milligrams of Tren E twice a week. Exactly as has been true every single time I have run Tren in the past. This stuff is like clockwork, guys. There's really no guessing. Once you figure out how your body reacts to the compound, and not everyone's the same, it does seem to be extremely reproducible. So one of the very first symptoms that I experience when I start running Tren every single time is my attitude towards sex changes rapidly. To give you an idea of what I mean, typically I'm a very, sexually driven person. I've talked about it ad nauseum on these videos, but generally my mindset toward my wife is very different when I'm not on Tren. It's more loving, it's more compassionate, it's more intimate. Tren makes me feel like a fucking animal in every way. Definitely sexually. I am way more aggressive mentally and physically whenever I have sex with my wife on Tren. I regularly leave bruises on her legs from just grabbing her body, and well, I'm not getting into detail in this video, but I'm very aggressive with my hands. Everything is just turned up to a different level. It's not that it's unloving. It's not that I don't still have emotion toward her. There's just a different type of impulse. I've been thinking about making a video talking about all of the ways that Tren actually makes you feel like an animal. I think I'm going to devote an entire video to that. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to stick to the actual effects that I'm feeling so far, for those of you who are interested, so that we can track them as they go along. So those sexual effects occurred within the first week. They always do. Typically toward the end of the first week, that's the first thing that I feel. Going from week 1 into week 2, I start to notice the very steady or very rapid increase in my aggression. When I was in the gym last night, I told my wife it was almost like I could taste the venom in my mouth. Like I just walk around with a scowl on my face. I basically hate everyone that I come into contact with, definitely in the gym. It makes me so judgmental of people for any number of reasons. I won't get into the reasons, but there are just a litany of them. Men, women, doesn't matter. I have a lot of internal biases, maybe some prejudices, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of internal processes that are clearly running under the radar the majority of the time. And when Tren comes on, it amplifies all of that shit to the absolute maximum. One of the things that's going to be a real challenge for me is that right now I'm lifting at Planet Fitness, which for a bodybuilder is probably one of the worst, if not the worst gyms on the entire planet. Planet Fitness should really be called Planet Fat Fuck, Planet Fuck Face, Planet Fuck Off, because no one in here knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, you go and you try to get a dumbbell set in, and some asshole has gone to the dumbbell rack and he's got 3 different weights just kind of huddled around his bench like it fucking matters. None of these people have any dedication. They all look like slobs. It's just a terrible, horrible place to lift, but it happens to be a large chain that my current Active Fit membership honors. They're probably gonna kick me out now that I've just ragged their asses on YouTube, but it's just a crazy place. You know, like you literally walk into Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone, and you look right up on the wall and there is the lunk alarm that defines what a lunk is. And basically a lunk is just somebody who actually cares about getting big. You know, it's like drinks out of a gallon water jug, wears a muscle tank, grunts and drops weights. So a fucking bodybuilder, that's what it is. So, you know, you guys know, if you've ever been to Planet Fitness, you know it's a fucking joke. So when I'm in this place and I'm trying to get my lift on and I'm trying to get growth, and I'm constantly waiting on a machine. It's like everybody in the gym seems to think the pec deck is just like the go-to fucking machine. Meanwhile, 98% of people in Planet Fitness have no real business ever sitting down on this machine. Like, I don't know what it is about the pec deck. Why is there like 300-pound women just like over here cranking out pec flies? Like, what the fuck do you think you're accomplishing? See, you see what's happening? I sat down to make this video and not rant and just tell you about the effects of the trend. And this is what we're seeing. These are the effects of the trend. It just makes me so fucking critical of everything. Like, why do I give a shit about this morbidly obese woman on the pec deck? Well, I care because I'm trying to fucking get big, guys. And that's a joke. But what I've told myself is that I should not be angry at the people at Planet Fitness because I'm actually in their space. They literally put on the wall, bodybuilders not welcome. And so I chose to go to this place that is for all of these people who are never going to really accomplish anything. Like, that's what Planet Fitness is for. You go there when you have no real intention of actually ever getting big so that you can just like feel like you're doing something. You know, you go in there on the Saturday and Sunday, that's my favorite time because there's no one there. They spent 3 or 4 days during the week working on trying to get from 300 to 295. And then on Friday and Saturday, they went out and had a whole bunch of beers and probably like some chili cheese fries and shit like that. And when they get back to the gym on Monday, they'll probably be 305. And then they'll be working their way down again. This is a total fucking waste of, you know, of effort. But again, whatever, to each their own. Get your fucking pec deck in. I'll wait. Don't worry. It's not fucking important to me. So, so there's that. So the Tren Anger, aggression, and irritation is already full blown at 1.5 weeks in. So for all these people who will tell you, oh, well, if you inject a long ester, like an Enanthate ester, it's going to take 4 weeks for it to kick in. Bullshit. Bullshit. No, it does not. It kicks in fucking immediately. It's just that with weaker compounds like Test, you're not going to feel a lot because Test is not psychologically active in the way that Tren is. The Test is doing something for you in the first fucking week. It's just that you're not really feeling it. With the Tren, I can't even imagine what Tren Ace must feel like. Like, holy shit. I would probably kill myself. I can't even imagine what a mind fuck that has to be when 100 milligrams of Tren E has me homicidal inside of 10 days. Somebody in the comment section said on one of my videos, they were asking, I forget what it was, like real book long comment. The guy was like, he said something like, basically he's never been violent in his life. Like he punched somebody one time in like self-defense or something. I don't remember. And so he's like curious if the Tren makes me violent or if I'm already like that. And I said to the guy in the comments, I'm like, dude, I can count on one hand the number of days in my lifetime that I went the entire day without thinking of killing at least one person. Like, that's how amped up I am. Like, I could just be standing in line at Walmart, just standing in line, just waiting to check out in line. And I'll just look at the person in front of me in line, and I'll decide that I don't like their tone of voice or their accent or the size of their ass in their fucking yoga pants. Or, I mean, it could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. And I'll just stand behind them in line and just stare at this thing that I don't like, and I'll just fantasize all of these horrific things. Like, I'm really just actually a monster inside. And I do a really good job when I'm like out, you know, professionally working, making these videos, responding in the comments. Like, I think, to be a relatively stable human being. Nothing could possibly be further from the truth. There's probably very few people in life that are more unfucking hinged than I am, totally naturally. So the trend just makes all of that shit infinitely worse. As I said in my previous video, the one good thing that I'm not experiencing yet is any lack of sleep. It's not negatively affecting my sleep. I'm having to take 10 milligrams of Ambien. Oh shit, you know what? I think I took 15 last night. So we may be in trouble. That's the big thing for me in Tren. Like, I don't care about the anger, the aggression, the fact that I don't smile for 10, 20, however many weeks that I'm on. The fact that I just view everything in life from the perspective of the limbic system. Like, I really just, you know, like some people, like religious people will say, they use that phrase, what would Jesus do? On Tren, my attitude is sort of, what would a lion do? Like, what would the most apex fucking predator on the planet do? That's what I'm gonna do. In fact, I caught a 12-pound flathead catfish, which as far as flathead goes, is not terribly big. I mean, I've caught upwards of 30-pound flathead catfish. So I get this catfish out of the live well the other day, and I go to fillet it, and I think, you know, I should probably kill the fish first, right? Like, that's the nice thing to do. And I tried to stab it in the head with this fillet knife, and it damn near broke my knife, because they've got like a skull, you know, protecting the brain. Not to mention the fact that, like, I'm not a fucking biologist. I'm not even sure where this animal's brain is in this big flat head that it's got. And so I'm over here poking around. You know, I'm trying to go in the ear somewhere. Not that they have ears, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to put this thing out of its misery. And then the trend kicks in. And I think to myself, why am I trying to spare this animal any amount of suffering? I should be treating this animal with the same care that it treats its prey. I mean, think about it. Do you think the catfish gives two shits about the misery that it causes some little shad when it inhales it and then it's alive and its stomach slowly dying of lack of oxygen and like the lactic acid or the stomach acid that's like rotting its fucking brains out? I watched a catfish one time in a pond suck, I mean, this had to be a giant, but it sucked under a baby duckling. Just splash, the duckling was gone, never came back up. Okay, this catfish didn't give two shits at all about the suffering of this duck. Why should I? Because I'm a human being? Not on Tren, I'm not, baby. On Tren, I don't give a fuck. What would the lion do? What would the silverback gorilla do? That's the mentality that Tren causes in me. Now, some of you may be out there going, holy fuck, this guy is insane. And maybe so, but I'm just here to tell you, you want updates. How's the cycle going? This is how it's going. So my strength has gone up already since I started the Tren. So Anadrol's got this reputation for being able to give you all this freakish strength. I mean, my strength improved, but nothing compared to the way that Tren gives me strength. Basically, I don't know. Tren has just like eclipsed my vision. You know, guys will ask me, have you tried EQ? No, because it's not Tren. Have you tried? Like, basically, I'm looking for the other hormone that I can add to the mix, because if I'm ever going to get any bigger than I am, I'm either going to have to up the doses or add compounds, but it's like, what compound? You know, I only go to 500 milligrams of test because I'm already at 3 milligrams of Arimidex. I've been as high as 550 milligrams of Tren, but I didn't fucking sleep at all. So Primo is not a good muscle builder. I've got the Anadrol going, but it doesn't seem to be anything terribly special. And I can't run it forever because it'll hammer my liver. So yeah, there's EQ, obviously Anavars, I'm gonna put on a lot of mass. What is the other mass builder that I can add to test and Tren, that will put on all of this muscle? And I think the answer is just that there isn't anything. I've got the GH running, I've got a lot of things. I'm rapidly getting to the point where I just feel like this is as big as I'm going to get. And maybe that purely comes down to calories. Maybe it just comes down to the fact that I just am not dedicated enough. I guess. I don't know what the excuse is. I'm just not getting the calories. I'm going to give it another good go. I'm not quitting yet. I'm going to keep shoveling shit in my face. I'm going to up my fat intake a little bit to see if I can just boost the calories enough to start getting some momentum. I definitely think that I'm up. I walked in there earlier and I was at 194 obviously earlier today, so I may actually get up to 196 or 197 tonight, which if that happens will be definitely a good sign because admittedly I missed some calories while I was fishing. So what else can I report? I talked about the sex, I talked about the strength, obviously the insane anger and aggression is out of fucking control. I feel way better psychologically, believe it or not, since I started back on the Caber. I took another dose last night and I'm feeling the effects of that. I've got my E2 in line. I think my prolactin's getting in line. Those are the things that seem to cause me the most problems. But, I guess the last remaining last remaining piece of the puzzle is just that psychological output, what's the word I'm looking for? My view of the world, basically. My wife asked me last night if because we're trying to decide what we're going to do, if we're going to continue this traveling experiment or, if we're going to settle down and I'm going to get back to work. And she was like, are you excited about going back to work? And I was like, no, not at all. I'm not excited. I was never somebody who defined himself by his work. I was very successful in sales. I made lots of money, but I didn't take any real pride in it. And it wouldn't matter what I was selling. Like I sold forklifts and material handling equipment. I could go get a job selling, anything. It wouldn't matter what it was. I could get hired tomorrow to build a fucking spaceship that would put man on Mars. I could cure cancer tomorrow and save millions of lives, and that would not make me feel any better about myself. Like I don't need any help feeling good about me. And so work is just not something that is terribly inspirational. I'm not one of these dads that feels like, I really need my son to be a doctor or a lawyer. I don't live for my kids. Like I'm not defined by their successes or failures. I used to coach my son's baseball team and there was a lot of dads out there that just were like fucking psycho. Like they just desperately needed their son to be like a major league baseball player. And I was just like, dude, they're like fucking kids, man. Let's just have fun. Like I just want my kids to be happy, functional, successful adults. I want them to be able to take care of themselves because I'm not doing it. But if I have a kid that just, like if my daughter wants to be a school teacher and she never makes very much money in life, but that's what makes her happy, cool. If she wants to be a doctor or a lawyer, that's fucking cool too. If she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, like whatever she wants. So I don't get a lot of pleasure in life from trying to mold them into this thing that I need them to be because I don't need them to be anything but happy. So yeah, it's just like I don't have a whole lot that I get excited about. I definitely love going to fish. I definitely like the traveling. And then outside of that, I just love fucking bodybuilding, playing with these compounds, experimenting my body, making these videos, having these conversations. That's what gets me really excited. And so for the time being, that's what I'll continue to do. So I'm going to continue running Tren at 100 milligrams a week, 500 milligrams of test, 50 milligrams of Anadrol. I'm going to do that for at least a couple more weeks, I think. I'm taking 4 IUs of growth hormone. I'm taking about a quarter of a milligram of cabergoline every 5 days. I had some shoulder issues, but that seems to be on the mend. I could not lift my shoulder like this at all. I think it was a shoulder impingement, but as you can see, it's mobile again, so that's helpful. What else am I taking? I take 100 milligrams of telmisartan per day to keep my blood pressure in line. Somebody in the comments was just asking me if I'm on Nebivolol. I think that's a blood pressure medicine, but it may actually be for pulse. I haven't decided whether I want to try to find a medication that will allow me to blast Tren and get my pulse down. Like, I'm already taking so much shit as it is. And it's just so much to keep up with. I do test injections on Tuesday, Saturday, Tren on Wednesday, Sunday, GH every day, HCG Tuesday, Saturday, telmisartan every day. I take 5 milligrams of Cialis every day. So I take 1 milligram of Arimidex every other day, and then a quarter of a milligram of Caber every 5 days. Like, dude, that's a lot of shit to try to keep up with. And not miss these pills and have your levels all over the place. So adding in another drug, it's like, I mean, I guess I'll do it if I have to, but fuck, man, it's getting to be a lot. So there you have it. This is the second video I shot today. I may put this up tonight. May save it till tomorrow. I can't speak. And then, as always, I'll keep coming back with more updates. For some reason, when I start the Tren, I usually take like a little bit of time off camera. I think it's because it takes me a minute to actually like get comfortable with the person that I just became. You know, because it's really like a night or day difference. My wife in here is, she's like fucking holding on for dear life because it's been fucked up. So I think the reason I don't make a video in the very early going is because I don't even know who the fuck I am myself. You know, like I know what to expect. You know, it's like if you go on a roller coaster and, you know, you're going click, 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 you know, you're going up the fucking incline and you know the plummet's coming, but you're never like totally prepared for that free fall moment. It still grabs you every fucking time. That's kind of how the Tren is. Like, I can know exactly what to expect. Psychologically, I can know it's going to cause these set of circumstances, but that first fucking real rage moment happens. And I mean, even it takes you back. Like, I got in a fight with my wife the other night, and she'll put me in this mood where from my point of view, she's just sitting there bullshitting. Like, I've already scored the point, I've already made the point, and it's irrefutable, and you're just trying to dance around it. I call it moving the goalpost. I've already said, this is the thing you're not doing. You've admitted that you're not doing this thing. That's the end of the conversation. And when she starts trying to explain away why she hasn't done it, to me, that's a woman's way of just trying to confuse you. Because she knows men, we're very linear, we're very black and white. And so if they can take the point, if they can take the goalpost, where we're just gonna go, it's either good or it's not. He either missed it or he didn't. They take the goalpost and they fucking move it around while the kick is in the air. So you don't know what the fuck is going on. And I just melt down, smash shit. I just fucking took this vase and just fucking spiked it in the fucking bathroom. Like, I can't take that fucking goalpost moving shit. I'm unstable enough as it is. We got to keep the goalpost firmly planted in the ground so that we can all see whether the fucking kick is good or not. Because that really fucking matters, doesn't it? So there you have it. As always, protect the cycle. Don't take Tren. Just don't do it. It's not worth this shit. It really shouldn't be worth this shit. It says a lot about me as a person that I have done this so many times and I know exactly what it's going to do. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys, as sick as this is to admit, every single thing that I have admitted to doing, feeling, saying, thinking over the course of these last 2 videos, and I love it. I fucking love every second of it, and I don't know why, but that is the truth. So hang in there. I'm gonna try to hang in there, and we'll see you on the next one.